After 4 centuries of Islam's aggressive advance, church leaders wanted to take back the Holy Land. The Catholic Church instigated 7 major crusades over a 200-year period. Most of the crusades were failures and some total disasters. Tens of thousands were slaughtered, Muslims, Jews, and Arab Christians. At the same time, the plague broke out, one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, wiping out as much as 60% of Europe's population. Most people were certain it was the end of the world. The Crusades did, however, open up trade routes, causing commerce to flourish. Once again, money flowed to and from Europe. New wealth led to the growth of cities and a new class, the bourgeoisie, meaning people from the city, people who made their wealth by trade and later by industry. This led to the end of feudalism in the West and the beginning of capitalism. To counter the excesses of the new affluence, poverty-based monastic orders appeared, which supported themselves by begging. Most prominent were the Dominicans and the Franciscans, who took the gospel along the Silk Road to Central Asia and China in the 13th century. The Franciscans were started by Francis of Assisi, perhaps the most beloved Christian of the Middle Ages. Meanwhile, the church grew very wealthy, owning as much as 1/3 of the land in Europe. The papacy reached its zenith with Pope Innocent III. He made it a capital offense to read the Bible in any language but Latin. No pope before or since has wielded as much power, and he called himself the supreme sovereign of the world. After Innocent III's death, the papacy slid into rapid decline, including a 70-year period when the papacy was in France. This resulted in the Great Papal Schism, in which there were as many as 3 competing popes. In 1453, Constantinople fell to the Ottoman Turks. The center of Christian gravity was now solidly in Western Europe. Time and again, earnest Christians called for reform. They were usually met with violent resistance. Many thought calls for reform were pointless, convinced the church was hopelessly corrupt. Instead, they sought to reclaim the best of the ancient civilizations. This rebirth or renaissance began in Italy and spread throughout Europe. Over time, the church itself was caught up in the spirit of the age. The Pope sought to make Rome a Renaissance city. This included the construction of one of the most exquisite buildings in the world, St. Peter's Basilica. To accomplish this, the church needed cash, lots of it. This led to the sale of indulgences. An indulgence was a papal certificate designed to provide proof of the forgiveness of sins.